Ladies and gentlemen, not too long ago I did do a video asking the question of is Transformers dead? And a lot of people were saying, no, Transformers isn't dead. Are you mad? Mainly because I pointed out how the shows nowadays suck. The games, there's no hope for it, especially with the only game being announced recently, which was Reactivate. That, of course, got deactivated. The figures, which, yes, while more accurate and just overall better than, the old figures, they are smaller than the old figures and they are less fun than the old figures. And they're more expensive. You are literally paying more for a smaller figure. And of course, on the movie side of things, there was zero hope. The live action movies, we're never going to get Megatron again because Lorenzo is going to screw everything up by trying to connect everything to the Bayverse, meaning we're never going to get Megatron. The G.I. Joe movie, which even if it does happen, like genuinely, who cares? We just want a Transformers movie. Transformers 1, horrendously mismarketed, and it ended up being probably the best movie of 2024, let's be honest. And many people were hoping for a sequel. I'm going to be honest with you, I was sort of like the one person who was like, look, TF1, as awesome as it was, this movie doesn't need a sequel because then it completely ruins the point of the movie. The movies, like the whole reason TF1 exists was to show the backstory between Optimus and Megatron. And the reason why it's probably the best prequel ever made, in my opinion. And that is because it can be connected to any continuity of Transformers. Yes, obviously there are little, of course, inaccuracies, like Sentinel being dead, so of course it can't connect to the Bayverse and things like that. But the movie's point was just to show you how close Prime and Megatron were before, of course, they became Optimus Prime and Megatron. So, fantastic film. Brilliant, worked with any continuity. But the lack of money just proved that we weren't going to get a sequel anyway. There's been no announcement, no update or anything on a live action Transformers movie in the works. Of course, recently, I think yesterday actually, Paramount did confirm that there are no plans for a Transformers 1 sequel. And this has like just thrown the Transformers continuity, just confused them because they're like, wait, seriously? There's no chance of a TF1 sequel. We're doomed. And honestly, I can sort of now understand, like, it's actually worse than how Halloween used to be. Because for those of you who don't know about the Halloween franchise with Michael Myers, there's literally 5 different continuities. Because they go like 3 movies and they mess up and they're like, okay, well, we'll just make another one picking off from the second movie. And then that goes terribly wrong. Then they'll make another one and be like, you know what, we'll just make 2 to 6 non-canon anymore. We'll just pick up from the original. Then there's the remake timeline. There's like 5 different continuities of Halloween because they keep messing things up. With Transformers, it's almost worse. The reason I say that is because we are in this weird place with Transformers where, of course, we had the Bayverse, which was the safest option. I don't know why. I really don't know. I mean, obviously, yes, The Last Knight didn't do the best, but come on, man. You should have just continued with that. Bumblebee, while being great, could have served as a prequel to the Bayverse. Rise of the Beast is sort of the movie that messed everything up. Because this was the one Transformers movie where there was 0 stakes. No one cared about what's going on. And I say that. When Rise of the Beast came out, I was like, this is the best Transformers movie. There's like no competition. Best Transformers movie. Not the best action, but the best Transformers film. Now, 2 years later, its faults really show. They tried combining the story of Bumblebee, like the writing of a caliber of Bumblebee, with the action of the Bayverse, when really you just end up with something like Alien Covenant, where in trying to please everyone, you sort of end up not really pleasing anyone. And it's just really messy. And of course, you had the final battle, which took place in a remote location where there's no stakes. In the first Transformers, it was in a city. In the second film, while yes, being in a desert, there were still people there. There was a population there. Dark of the Moon, of course, Chicago. I mean, you got people being blasted to pieces. You got them being incinerated and their bones falling on the floor. It was just so good to see. And especially watching now, after seeing what Transformers movies, we have nowadays, It was cool. It's nice seeing people die in Transformers. It reminds you that, there can be stakes in these things. Age of Extinction. Freaking Hong Kong got destroyed. Well, not as much as Chicago, but still. The Last Night is the only one where I can understand them not focusing on a city level destruction, because there it is world level. The world could literally end right there because of Cybertron. So The Last Night is actually the only one that I'm going to defend with this. Rise of the Beast had no stakes because no one cared. It was in a remote location where no one was there. So yeah, I don't know how I ended up on this conversation, to be honest. But I mean, you don't come to these videos for formality. You just come to hear me ramble, don't you? But yeah, this weird place we're in with Transformers, where we have this new live action continuity where the creators, well, I say the creators, Lorenzo solely wants to connect it to the Bayverse. So we are, as the fans, are sitting here pondering, obviously it's a reboot timeline, but what are they going to do to connect it to the Bayverse? Why can't they just, leave it as its own separate continuity? I just don't know. I don't know. And it sucks because there's so many franchises where it's clear what's happening next, what's over. Now with Transformers, we're just sort of sitting here, like, just taking whatever we can. It's like that, like we're sitting below a pipe, and that pipe is just leaking drop by drop, and that's what we're catching. That's all it is. It's absolutely horrendous. Transformers, I think, honestly, outside of the figures, I think that the franchise is dead. And that pains me to say it, obviously, because apart from the Jurassic franchise, Transformers is the franchise that has shaped me as a person the most. And it sucks seeing how Paramount just wasted one of the coolest brands in history. You have Transformers, robots that can turn into vehicles and things, and you just completely waste it. After Age of Extinction, none of these movies did very well. The Last Night, of course, destroyed that universe. Transformers 1 was, mismarketed terribly, so of course no one went to go see it. Rise of the Beast it was all right. Like it's meh. Like it is like, honestly, apart from the final battle, I don't really want to rewatch anything from Rise of the Beast. If I'm in a Rise of the Beast mood, I just skip to the final battle. But yeah, please just let me know your thoughts on the state of the Transformers franchise right now, because currently the fandom is in pieces because, we have nothing to unite over. There's usually something we can all be excited for, because Transformers 1, while obviously marketed as a little pathetic kids movie, a lot of us were excited for it just because we would finally get Megatron on the big screen again for the first time in 7 years. And, I'm going to be honest with you, that scene of when Prime and Megs are born, I think is one of the best scenes of the franchise. It could possibly be the best. And I just wish that we got more things from Transformers that made us feel things like that. And I don't know. Honestly, just let me know what you guys think of not only the state of Transformers, but the quality of things that we have gotten from Transformers. Even though, let's be honest, there's not much to talk about. There's been no games. No games. Shows. Earthspark, I think, was the only thing that's come out in recent times. And I'm not even going to watch it because that thing looks stupid as hell. So yeah, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. And if you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye.